how to collect rent. Well, there's literally like 1,000,001 different ways, right? People do cash, check, Venmo, Cash App. There's like Cozy. I think you can even do it through Zillow, maybe. I don't know. There's like 1,000,000 different ways, 1,000,000 different ways of doing it, but we don't take any of those. And you might be fine with, I think you might be fine doing it that way if you have like a few rental properties, but at scale, it's just impossible to keep track of all that stuff. That's probably why the remote doesn't ever work. So what do you do, right? So from a bookkeeping standpoint, obviously at scale, collecting cash, some checks, some Venmo, some Cash App, some Zelle, right? Because everyone uses something different. It's just impossible to scale. Well, it's not impossible. It's just, it takes someone who knows how many hours to input all that into a system and track it accordingly, right? So for us, it's like literally like a non-negotiable, right? So we tell people right up front, like, we don't accept this. You can pay rent this one way, and that's the only option you have, right? So our software has a tenant portal where tenants log in and they either set up a recurring payment. So every month the rent comes out of their account and everything's good, or they can pay by like debit card or credit card. I think with credit card, it like charges some sort of fee or something, right? So I guess there's like two options, right? But essentially it's all through our software. And the point of that is, well, two more things. The point of that is to make sure that everyone pays through our software. Our software automatically tracks it, so we don't have to do it. So that's like one less thing that we have to do, right? And I think that's important, even if you have one or two or three or four, however many rentals you have, because that's one less thing that, even if you're managing yourself, is what I'm saying, it's one less thing you have to do, right? That's all like time waster stuff, right? When you can automate it, why do it? So, and then I guess the other thing to go along with that is, yes, some people literally don't have bank accounts, right? So they can't pay online because they don't have a bank account. They don't have any card or anything like that, right? So, well, for that, there's also a solution that we have. So I guess there's three ways people can pay. So there's three ways, but it's all electronic. And the point of it is it's all electronic and it all automatically tracks in our system, making our life easier, right? So if they can't pay these three ways, sorry, bro. Like, we don't accept a check. We don't accept any of that stuff. So the other way, it's called Payoneer Me, and it's a service where our system essentially generates them like a barcode, and then they can go to whatever store is by them. They scan the barcode, pay the money, and that service deposits that money into our bank account, right? So we don't even allow people to, another common way to deposit rent is by them going to the bank and making a deposit. Again, super inefficient. You have to go check bank statements. Half the time they don't write the slip right, so you can't tell who actually deposited it. So if you have a bunch of people paying $1,000 in rent, it's all good. Let's say you have 10 houses paying $1,000 in rent. Okay, cool, everyone paid. But on the ninth, it's like, okay, who didn't pay? You have no idea. Mostly if they didn't fill out the slip correctly, right? So it's all a pain in the ass. And, right, it's just detrimental to growing, right? So this all makes managing easier. It makes it cleaner. It makes it, right, because in our software, you just open it up on the third or fifth or whatever. I usually the first, right, because rent's due on the first, but there's people that are late always. So usually you check on like the third and the fifth. One button, like, okay, everyone paid, we're good. Okay, this guy didn't pay, we gotta send him something. That guy didn't pay, we gotta send him something. Or everyone paid, everything's good, right? If you did it the other way, it's like, okay, you gotta count your bills, you gotta check your Venmo, you gotta check your Cash App, you gotta take the check to the bank or just do it on your phone. It's just one extra step, and then you gotta track it, right? We don't do any of that. It's just there. It happens, we look at it, it's good, it's not, and then we take action from there instead of the opposite, right? Oh, the check's in the mail, it's coming. Okay, right? So when it's all online, it just makes life a lot easier. So that's why we collect rent, and that's how I've collected. I've never, well, my first rental that I bought with inherited tenants, I did. They were used to, like, they worked at a restaurant, and they paid with tips. So I'd get like envelopes of cash, which was just not good to do, right? So I'd like, and I was like in Royal Oak, right? So I just like go there, knock on a door, and obviously that got like switched over within like a month or two, because I was like, all right, this is like dumb. I'm not doing this. But that's how the previous landlords ran it, right? Because we won't go into that. But essentially, all we do now, lessons learned from before, the easiest way to do it is just have them all pay online through some sort of software, where it collects the money, it records the money, and it takes it right to your account. So you essentially just look at to make sure that people paid or not, and that's it, right? So hopefully this helped, and let me know if you have any questions. And if you're still collecting cash and check and Venmo and Cash App and all the other Zelle and all that stuff, there's a better way out there. So I would recommend you look into those better ways, because even if you save, I don't know, it only takes like 5 minutes a month. Okay, so 5 minutes a month for a year, that's like, I can't do math right now. And then that's a lot of time you could be doing something like watching a movie or doing something important other than looking at rent payments, right? So anyway, hopefully this helped. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. Talk to you on the next one.